Welcome, Ms. Marzia Babakarkhail. Thank you very much for taking the time to come and interview with the Cambridge Journal of Law, Politics, and Arts. You have dedicated an inspiring career as a family court judge in Afghanistan. Nowadays, with respect to women's rights in Afghanistan, you are leading your campaign to support women judges who are still living in Afghanistan in danger. Today, we would like to concentrate this interview on your story as a female judge who was forced to leave Afghanistan and leads a campaign to support your colleagues. And I would like to start the first question about your background. Can you tell about your background and your career as a lawyer and a judge in Afghanistan? What motivated you to pursue a career in law and justice?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be voice for the voiceless in my country, especially for the Afghan women judges they left behind in the danger. Uh, as you said, I'm Marzia Babakarkhail from Afghanistan. I was lucky enough because I was born in an educated family. My mother was a teacher and she was a principal of a school, and my dad was work as a self-employment, but he was a real feminist man. The motivation in my life was my mother, my father, and the reason I became a judge and I want to be a judge in the young age when I was in year 9 in a school. That was I think that was a opening day in my life. Sometimes we have an opening day where you have like you just created your goal. I was not very committed on my study during my school. That gave us all the opportunity. We had private study at home, but also we attended the government school. One day when I was with my dad to went to my mother's school to visit her. So my dad jumped from the car suddenly, and I'm shocked why he's jumped from the car. And a lady, what my dad start, speaking with each other. When the dad came back, for me was as Afghani man to jump from the car to meet with a woman and give a lot of respect. It just was really, for me, was shocking. And I said, who was this lady? My dad told, she's a Judge Nafisa. And I said, Judge Nafisa, what's a judge? I was in year 9 school. And that was explained to me. She's the first judge in Pulakhumri. She's very famous, and she's a very respected lady in the community, in the society. And I said, I want to become a judge. And because I was not very good in study, my dad was start laughing. Okay, he said, okay. But when my mom came the car and my dad was explained to him, and mom also started laughing. And there was love was not like a judgmental, like as a mother and father, like teasing you like that. When I came home and I told to my grandma, I said, after today, I will concentrate on my study. And I don't know, I like it the way Dad explained about her title, about her career, about her character. So, people always make a comment about the rich people, the people with power. But she was just she was a judge, and the dad was start to talking about her around maybe 20 minutes to explain to me. So I worked very hard, to be honest, and after that, and I think she's motivating me that time. and I became someone to concentrate to my life in my study. After when I finished my school, and there was a large exam, it's called Concours in Afghanistan. Um, in these other countries, they look at your mark, but after you finish your school in Afghanistan, you have a big exam from all your study from year 1 till year 12. And I was chosen that just one subject is Sharia law. And after that, and I, of course, and I received my number, and I am registered with in the Sharia faculty in Kabul University. So again, I work hard during my university as well. Eventually, they sent me to when I finished the university. Normally, they send you to a different department, and they sent me to Supreme Court because that time I was just as a clerk, because when you finish your study, you became a clerk, not a judge. So they sent me, and after that, they sent me back to Pulakhumri, the place I was born, and my family was there. Uh, During my work at the court, and I saw a lot of injustice, and I was at that time I was very powerless because I was a clerk and working with a high-profile judge. Of course, he was a male judge. The rules was after some times when you're working as a clerk, they send you for a judiciary training after 6 months, maybe one year. And back when I went to Kabul to join my judiciary training at the Supreme Court. When I finished my training, and I back to Pulakhumri, and I start working at the court as a judge, not as a clerk. So for me, that time was a golden time because the picture or the map was I made for myself, and I created for myself and for my future was also everything in the reality.
You started speaking a bit about the challenging you were facing and injustice you were facing when you were a clerk. But would you share some key experiences and challenges you faced during your tenure in Afghanistan as a justice system and during your work as a judge?
I think all the women judges they face with challenges during our work as a judge with male judges. They're always the balance of male judge and a female judge was not the same. So we work hard more than others, but our work, not my work, our work, never appreciated as much should appreciate it. We was very good in writing, the statement. We was very good to read the cases. We worked very hard. All the women judges around Afghanistan. The challenges, when I became a judge, I already was aware of the system was very difficult for women in court. But when I became a judge, the problem in when you are a judge, you're tied by the law. You cannot do anything to help someone directly. So for me, one day, one lady, she came, she was pregnant lady, and she started crying. And I told, why you cry? And she said, my husband want to divorce me, but I have like 4 years baby. And also she was pregnant, and she was don't want to the child be without father. And I said, where is your husband? Uh, the man came. He was a policeman, and I really respectfully told him, can you please wait till she delivered the child? And he pushed her, and I became very, very angry, and I controlled myself. I think I learned patience during my work at a young age. I was very young, no experience in my life, to be honest. And sometimes you cry inside. You can't cry front of people. You're not happy with something, but you kept inside. You put everything inside in you. And I was the same situation. And I walked, out from my room to outside, and I had a deep breath, and I came back. And again, I told him, "Can you please wait for sometimes?" And he said, "No, no, no, no. Just I want now." And suddenly, the lady is, coming to the floor, and start to like bugging him, no? And oh, that was very, very heartbreaking for me as a woman. That did really I wanted to resign, and I said no. This job is not for me because I cannot see women to begging. In this at that time, she needs love. She needs somebody to care of her, and she just start begging and going to the floor and kissing the feet of the husband. Why? What happened with women? Why we do this? But we don't know the person and the situation of the person. I cannot judge her because I was not aware of what was going on in her life out of the court. So when I finished my work and I went home, I told to my mother, "It's a big deal in my work. I really don't want to carry on with this job. I think sometimes we do something for a status." That time I realized my naivety. Sometimes we are very naive. We do something to become a famous, for a status, for porn, for that, for this, but it's still humanity inside you that always, like alarm you. You are wrong. You're not for this seat. You're not doing well in your life. Uh, and I spoke with the Judge Nafisa, the lady, she motivating me. She was a judge there. And I told her, how you deal with all these things in all your life? She said, learn to deal with problems. If you leave this job, if I leave this job, who can help the women? That's a strong word from her. And always, I remember her words, and I respect. Still, in my window, I wrote in the paper, if you know help women, if I'm not help women, who can help? That was from Judge Nafisa. And that time, I don't know, when I walked back to my room and I said, no, I will stand with these women. I will not leave this job. Why I should leave? I work hard to become a judge. And for one thing, for one case I saw in front of me, and I leave this job. Why? She's right. She's absolutely right. We are the same human being. She can deal with it. I can deal with it too. So, of course, she was more experienced than me. I was very young judge, and I cannot compare myself with her till now. So when I saw my divorce that time in 90s was very bad for people in Afghanistan. I really had this word when I'm saying, divorce is your rights. If you're not happy, it doesn't matter. You stay with what kind of situation you have. You don't have 1 minute happiness in your life. Some women was married from villages in the city, and they came from villages and married with a city man. But the problem, when you divorce, your family cannot accept you back because the village people will judge you. Oh, your girls is not good enough because she come back. That kind of things. And I was thinking with myself, how can I help this woman? Because as a judge, I cannot do anything. But I said, as a human being, still I can do something for her. That's really heartbreaking. I don't know why I chose to be a judge that time. When I asked my family and I told, can we make a room for the divorced women in our farm and keep them there till they find a place, or maybe find somebody to make a new life for them. And my mother agreed, and I told, like, when after the divorce, and I told them, I have someone, I know the family, they help the divorced women. this is the address, you can go. That time was, if you remember, that time was not a mobile phone. That was a kind of very classic phone, and we had in our home, very classic. And I gave them the number and the address of our house. Never I told this is my house, this is my family. And sometimes these divorced women coming to meet with my mother, because my mother address was very clear. She was a principal in a school. Everybody was, Pulakhumri was a small town. Everybody knows their school. And my mom sent them to the farm. One Friday, and I said to my mother, I want to go to meet with this divorced women. And I went to the farm and I saw them, and they was in shock. You know what? They was thinking maybe the judge follow us and why she's here. And I told, no, this is my mother. And, you can go work in the different land, because we had a lot of land in front of, our neighbors. However, you're happy, you want to make a like tailoring in your home. However, you can just do it, and that was kind of a relief I had that time. But still, I was not happy. The structure so against women, the culture of court was against women, the law was against women. Like for men, there are a lot of opportunity, but for women, there is zero opportunity. I think that's very heartbreaking. And that was the challenges. It's more than this, I faced the challenges. Maybe that was one of example. Sometimes, and I'm thinking in that age, how can I deal with all these things? The trauma is still with me. When I saw women upset in the bus or the train, and I'm thinking, still I'm a judge. I can go to ask this woman what's happening with you, because at the past I had a lot of bad experience.
Thank you very much for sharing the stories. It's very inspirational because we all humans first of all, and then we have our profession, and this is a great thing that you were knowing this all the way, and despite being a judge, you were also a human who were supporting other women, and this is like you are the one of the people who make this world better by doing something more and not just hiding behind your profession. And this is very, very amazing. And your involvement in the United Nations founded programs was noteworthy. How did these collaborations contribute to your efforts to promote human rights and gender equality in Afghanistan?
When I was a judge and I established a women organization in 1994. So I was when I established my organization. Of course, the project was from UNICEF, from WHO, WFP. That project was I work in Palakhumri and in also in Balkh, Mazar Sharif. The project was funded by, of course, by United Nations offices like UNICEF and other organizations.
Okay, thank you very much. And you held leadership positions in several NGOs, as you mentioned before. And how would you describe the impact and objectives of these organizations? What was the result of your work? What the best cases you want to share with the audience?
Thank you. When I registered my NGO in Kabul, in Palakhumri, with UNICEF, and we start working. The first project was we had to empower, these divorced women, literacy courses and different courses to keep them happy and busy in the farm. So when the Taliban the regime was gone the first time, when the Taliban regime was finished, I back to Kabul, but the time was in 1997 when I was left Afghanistan to Pakistan. That time, because of the Taliban, when they came to try to kill me in my home, and I left Afghanistan. When I went to Pakistan and I arrived there, uh, with the help of other colleagues, still I'm very grateful to her. We all put some money, and because I had an experience with the charity and NGO, I connected with ANCB, I connected with AWN and other organization. I was in Pakistan, Afghani organization, and we established a school for Afghan refugee through of my NGO, and the school was for young generation, for girls and boys. Um, I work around Afghanistan, but the one project I'm really proud of it is my school, because some of my students, they have a PhD now, they are masters, they're working in the United Nations, they're working in America, they are as a lecturer in very famous universities around the world. I think I'm proud of it. I'm not proud of it because I did. We all proud of it because we work together. The good thing in my project, always the money, the help, the support, the advising me, the all was women, and always women we came together and we did something. When the Taliban regime was over, and I back to Kabul, at that time in Pakistan, I became member of the board of ANCB. Uh, the first time when I put my name in the election, in the general election, I had one vote in the general election in Pakistan to become a member of ANCB, because there was a big organization. And when I was in Kabul, and again I put my name to election, and I had a large number of vote. I think I was the second. I was my number. So I'm not kind of person to go somewhere and not done and go back and say, okay, no problem. I work the same. I want to find what I did wrong. I'm not achieve something. I'm not leaving everything in the every places. So when I became a member of the board, and uh, after that, I became the chair of Women Committee of ANCB, because there was NGO and a women NGO they established in Afghanistan. That was a fantastic time, and some women they had good, of course, they have good experience of work and knowledge, everything, but there was no idea how can make a proposal, how can they connect with the donors. And I did this one, and I connected my colleagues to Asia Foundation, and I'm really grateful to Melanie. She was the head of the Asia Foundation. We proposed uh, send a proposal for a project, umbrella project with women, all is women. The project was about work with women to about their rights. How can they achieve to find the right place where they want to go, and what is the importance of law, women, and how can the law protect women in Afghanistan. So that was also always I remember, because some of the women judges, they told me that time, I like, my husband not allowed me to carry on with my work because I cannot achieve anything. But I also created kind of a structure for them. And after that, they just shining that time. And still I'm in contact with some of them. And So that job also, I'm really happy. I work as a chair of the women committee with the NCB, and as a director with my NGO, and also with a human rights organization. I was a member of the board with various organization. I was a member of the board with them too, just to share my experience, how I start, because 1994, that time was not no NGO kind of NGO things, or knowledge about NGO was not very popular at that time in Afghanistan.
That's very inspiring that you never gave up until you were exactly leading the way and finishing your goals. So now I would like just to move more towards fleeing the Afghanistan and gaining the British citizenship period. So you continued your activism in the United Kingdom, and can you share more about this period of time when you moved? What were the main struggles and main wins of that time? What activities and campaigns you began to start? You started during this period concerning the gender equality and women rights.
Thank you. When I left Afghanistan in the second time in my life, in 2nd of November 2008, because the Taliban, the second time in Pakistan, they tried to kill me and they hit me by car. I was in hospital. My mother decided I should leave because I never wanted to leave Afghanistan. I've been to like different countries for training, for conference, but never ever I wanted to be stay in America or Canada. I've been for conferences, uh, but the age of 44 or 45, became asylum seeker is not the right time, to be honest. And no one willingly they want to leave their countries because no, I achieved, and I had a good life, good job, and communication and connection, network, very strong network. So when I left, and my mother told me you have to leave. That was a very kind of unaccepted decision made by my mother. Uh, so I came in the UK and put up asylum application, and I granted very quick. So uh, when I received my leave to remain in the UK, uh, the problem was not just I left everything behind like others, like thousand refugee. Uh, Also, I want to make clear that always your age is more important, because I left in the very wrong age, in the very in the 43, 44, and with lots of trauma in my life. When I came here, I had a very bad situation of my in life. I had severe depression, and I never want to eat, and no shower. Kind of very disappointing life. One day I've been to hospital for X-ray for my leg because of the injury I had in Afghanistan by the Taliban. So the nurse put one mask, and she put the second, and she put the third. And I said, why? She's put the three masks. The reason of my smell, bad smell, because for 1 month, 2 months, I had just washed my face, and I had no shower because I had no motivation inside me. Everything I was thinking that time, I know everything is died, everything is gone, nothing more anymore, no Marzia in the world. I accepted my body as someone to finished. No anymore Marzia in the world. And the nurse, when she finished, and the nurse told me, which language do you speak? And I said, I can speak Urdu and also Pashto and Dari. and she told me in Urdu. She was an Indian nurse, and she told me, "This is your life. I'm not judging you. You can move on in your life, please." And my tears is coming in my face because I had because no English to explain to her, and she was not understand, the full Urdu to I can continue to communicate with her. So when I came home, I I've been direct to the shower. I think after that, and I realized I'm back, and I start again to communicate with people, join the college. But the top of everything, because I lost my mother in 2010, my depression became severe because when I lost my mother, I was not allowed to go to see my mother, to see the last goodbye to her. Like all the girls, they have this, this wish to stay with their mothers when she needs us. So still, I'm very regret and very. It's just some things is I cannot move on with this pain. It's always with me. So uh, refugee action. The time when I got my status, they offer me a mentor, life coach, and she's called Pami Lampa, and she is really I don't know how can what kind of name I give her. My hero, my mother, my friend, my godfather. What I don't know. So the project was just for 6 months, but she kept continue to help me, to give me advice and show me where should I go. And the first thing she told me, you should go to learn the language, because without language, you cannot do anything. I remember when my solicitor told me, come tomorrow, and I called to my sister in Canada, and they said, Sabrina, what the solicitor told me something. I think there's a problem from the home office. Of course, she was worried. She said, why? And when she called to my solicitor, she said to her, my sister, no, just I told Marzia, come tomorrow. There's nothing else I said to her, because English is so important when you have stress and you don't know why solicitor called me, and maybe she was very kind. Just she wanted to inform me to come to the to write my statement, but I worried too much, and I really feel all my friends, refugee and asylum seeker, how it's difficult for you all. You all have my back. I understand totally about this. And I started to join the college. Of course, I received a lot of, that, of course, criticizing, judging from by people. I never told about myself who I am, what I was. That's all. Just I was a student, go and learn the language. One day, I asked one of my friend. I said, I want to become interpreter. She said, oh my days, you are in the floor. Why you think you're in the top? And I said, why? Oh, what is wrong with this? I'm not saying right now I want to do this, but I put in my diary. Still, I have this diary. When she gives me very bad word and very bad, attitude, I said, okay, no problem. When I finished my college in 2016, during my college, my classes, I've been for British exam for my citizenship, and at the same time, I had my first public. I was in the public in Oldham Library. I had I shared my life experience, and I found a lot of women supported around me, and because I love to help with women, do volunteering. I started volunteering with a small refugee project, other organization, and also became a volunteer with the local MP. She was re-elected during that time was a election time in the UK. And after that, I started working as a caseworker. with her, immigration caseworker, because I'm using my language skills, my experience with people. To be honest, in all our, I shouldn't say client, in all the people they coming to our office, they have really good experience. And so because I have this pain and I understand them, I can speak the same language. I make it easy for them. Of course, always my boss and our manager, the senior caseworker, they are very kind with all of them. Uh, and I start working as a volunteer with Street Angels, and with women organization in the UK. And I became a trustee with the City of Century organization for some times. But I'm the kind of person, I just want to find where is my passion. It doesn't matter for me who gave me the title or who's kind with me. I just want to find my passion. And also, if I see there is a jealousy, there is a judgmental, people became judgmental about me. Just I leave. I don't want to like start fighting with people. I just leave the place to them. And I just move on. I don't want to waste my time, waste my energy to fight with people, and always have but to hear the kind of negative attitude and words. This is what that. So when the Taliban became in power, I was in London. Um, I was in always. I had a good connection with my colleagues in Afghanistan, with especially with the women judges, my classmate in the judiciary training. One of my colleague, I can call her now, Kamala Nuri. She's in America now. She was a judge. She is a very famous judge. Was in Afghanistan, and she called me. She said, "This is the time. You should come and stand with us." And she told me this, and she could just cut off the phone. But she was very upset. She was very upset. And suddenly she put me in the WhatsApp group, in women judges WhatsApp group. And after that, in the 19th of August, and I been to my life coach, and I asked, how can I start? Because I never I had no experience with campaigning for resettlement. I had a lot of campaigning in this country for refugee rights, for they allow the refugee to work. But was a new experience for me. So, in some of other women, they came together, like Daya Khan from America. She's a filmmaker, and just I want to mention their names because they're very close to my heart. They stand with us, and we always remember that. So she came along, and she helped me. And from Australia, one woman is called Elizabeth. She came to help me, and she resettled three women judges to Australia, and we with her team, they start to giving me advice, and we created the petition. And the top of everything, my boss had a first speech about the women judges in the history of our campaign. Was the first speech was at the parliament by my boss, because I'm talking about what's going on in Afghanistan, and she, of course, my office knows about my passion. So that was the first time, was a start my campaign. I should say that was the kind of uh, we built something, and after that, I worked very hard to build more connection with other people, with other politician. Like Joanna Chari, she came and she was invited me informally to the Justice Committee, and I printed all the judges' WhatsApp messages. And there was Sir Bob was so kind with me in the Justice Committee, and I've been to the Parliament, because this is not a small campaign; it's a big campaign. It's not about 2-3 people; it's about 270, around 270 judges. So It's still this campaign is we keep continue, and some of the organization really they help a lot, but some of the organization uh, shockingly they refused, they rejected the judge's application regarding the funding, the financial help. Uh, and I wrote an article regarding the funding and regarding the current situation of the women judges in Afghanistan. This was shared on Bulu Pass website, and we ask all the people to please join the discussion and see the situation of the judges. If someone gave me advice, if someone want to support, someone sponsor some of the judges, I would be very happy. And also the judges, some of the judges, they arrived in the UK, but the UK government, they promised to help the women judges, but some of the judges rejected their application by the UK government. But still, we have a hope. We work hard, but Marzia cannot do anything. The good thing in our campaign, some of the women judges, when they left Afghanistan, they joined this committee, the combined committee, and now they're running like TikTok page for the women judges, YouTube channel for the women judges. They all understand the value of my passion in my work. These groups, some of them was helped, and I introduced them. I referred them to the different organization to help them for their resettlement. And still, there's a big group left behind. 49, with the member of the family around 308 people. They left in Afghanistan, and 20 women judges left in Pakistan. So still, I need people, to stand with us and to help us. And I received a lot of sympathy, but I just really need action. And I have also a large volunteer group. They helping me on social media, checking my emails. I'm really very straightforward person. When I'm send message to a minister or maybe an MP, I did my English study in this country, but always I want to check with them, because the one mistake of your grammar, this is my advice to all of my fellow refugee and asylum seeker, and it makes the problem for yourself. So always I keep continue to connect with the volunteer network. They helping me from the beginning of my campaign. Sometimes I send messages one morning. I'm a crazy sometimes. Just I don't want to leave some things for tomorrow regarding my campaign. There is a lot of achievement we did, like informally, the judges made with Rina Amiri. She is the head of the women's rights for Afghanistan and in USA, and they made with a lot of official people through of Zoom. And the behind of all these work, my team and we all came together, and we try to have their voice and their faces front of the policymakers is better than I always to just share their story. I encourage them they should be their self, and they should stand for their self, because the policymakers will not leave us alone. I'm sure, because the judges, like me, they faced with a lot of challenges. We had never a good life in Afghanistan, to be honest. There is always a male dominating society. It is very clear for everyone.
Thank you very much for sharing this information about this campaign. And I would also like for you to highlight a bit for the readers and listeners that what risks are being faced by female judges and their families who remain in Afghanistan. and also how individuals, not just organizations, but individuals as well, can support your efforts to ensure their safety.
Thank you so much. It means a lot for my colleagues. Uh, my passion for my colleagues is not about because they're a judge. My understanding as a judge, as a former judge, uh, during the Jamhuriyat regime, we lost a lot of women judges in 2021 in January. The Taliban killed two young women judges. One of them was my classmate in judiciary system before the Taliban. So the women judges was not safe. That's the proof. That's on media. That's on website. If you go on BBC, you write 2021. Was about the women judges. That's all the realities coming up on media. When the Taliban became in power, I don't know. I don't know how they call themselves as a government. They opened the prison. All the prisoners is coming out. All the criminals. Who put these people in the jail? Can I ask someone? Who put this one? Who sent them? The judges. Not because they are against him, because they was a criminal, of course, because of the things they did, and they sent them to prison. But the problem now, not just the Taliban is our enemy. The prisoners, they joined the Taliban, is a big enemy for my colleagues. Last year, September, my colleagues, they informed me one of women judges killed by the Taliban, and they put her body in front of her brother's house. This is also on media. And when the neighbors informed her brother, he refused because he is scared. That is the reality of women judges' life. And when they going, like when they face what, of course, we are human being. We have health issue things, and 2-3 times they calling me. Do you know any doctor, women doctor? They can come to my house. They can come to my neighbor house. I can go to to check up with them because I'm not feel well, and mentally they are really very weak, and they all facing with. There is a 2-3 more problems increased. Should I say that? Uh, Family crisis, domestic violence. The problem increased day by day. But I don't know why the policymakers, why the world, why the people around me, they are very silent. They're just watching everything. Please, we all a human being. We need to give hand to each other. The women judges was a large group of the professional women in Afghanistan became a judge in Afghanistan. It is enough about their mentality. You should be brave enough to become a judge in Afghanistan. You know that you will be not accepted by society. You will not accepted by your colleague, male colleague, but still you want to be a judge. I think you need to have the brave, a very big heart to do this. And one of my colleague told me her daughter was passed away because of cancer, but she was not brave enough to go to see her daughter. How many stories on media about the judges? Always when they sharing with me, I pass their messages to the world, to the newspaper, to the article. Now I'm start writing the articles. The things is happening. That last article they shared by Blue Pass, and I'm very grateful to them. So that was the situation. But if the policymakers, I know there are a lot of problems around the world, but we can't ignore the problem already is there. And you give the promise, and the promise just kind of words. That's also not a good thing from the government or from the politician to give like kind of I don't know kind of fake promises. And some people want to make profile because of the women judges, but I really want them. I really ask them, please stop to do this. If you want to help the judges, come out and show your action. Sometimes some information is sharing by some people. They sharing the current situation of the judges kind of in peace. But that is really wrong. The people should understand we can hear everything, we can watch, we can talk. The wrong information and giving the wrong information about the women judges' life, that makes they put my colleague in danger. And I really request everyone, because you're making your profile, but please don't use us. We already use too much. So that is the reality of women life. They have some organization, and I'm really shocked. Some organization, they don't know the background of the women judges. They don't know when the Taliban became in power. The same day, they announced on TV, on Afghan TV, they all removed the women judges, and they told the women judges are not enough Muslim to make a decision. I don't know what they think about themselves. So that day, they frozen the judges' all accounts. Very bad thing this. And other women, like teachers, other women, they received, some of women, I'm not saying all women, not police women, not activist women, some of women, like teachers, they receive their salary every month. But some organizations, they don't know about this. The women was not included. The women judges, they removed from the database of the Supreme Court by the Taliban. And they have no salary, they have no income, they have no safety, they have no future. Why? I don't know why and how long. I know I can deal with it. Thousands of times I told in my interview with the Sky, with BBC, the judges, they don't have any income. They're not receiving salary. Please go and read the background. And also some kind of, I don't know, information when people sharing in the different platform. And I really request them to please stop to give the wrong information about the women judges' life.
Thank you for messaging the right information towards the issues. And I want you to tell the readers, like, what is the role of international community, including the governments and NGOs worldwide, in addressing the urgent needs of Afghan women, specifically judges, and what are the what would be the best actions to uh, help to solve the current situation and support them and make them live for the country and live safely.
Thank you. Uh, as I told, the misinformation, they know missing information or giving the wrong information sometimes, they cause problem in our campaign, to be honest. Uh, so the realities are different. And I am the main campaigner. I'm in contact with my colleagues 24 hours, 24 hours. With everything, we have a group, with everything. For interview, we have a group. For meeting, we have a group. For every decision or for every thing I want to prepare for it. And I speak with them first, and after we make a decision. physically they are not with me, but to be honest, they are their knowledge, their experiences with me. This campaign is not just running by Marzia. This campaign is became international because of their experience. They send it to me to share with me. And also, I'm very grateful to Judge Sadaf. She's in Canada. She really worked hard. She left Afghanistan, but she was helped by our team. But still, she stand for my colleague, and she working very hard to uh, be one of the big supporter for my colleagues, for our colleagues. Uh, the world knows about everything about Afghanistan. The world know what's going on because Mr. Richard Bennett, he shared a very a strong report about the women life in Afghanistan. I really appreciate him. I'm really grateful to him. Because he not missed anything about the women life. It's not about the judges. I'm generally talking about women life and the danger situation women face in Afghanistan. Uh, I think the international community they're aware of all this happening in Afghanistan, and also UN Women they helping Afghanistan. I'm grateful, but when they rejected the women judges form, and they mentioned the women judges are not women activists. Um, I'm a women judge. When I became an activist in 1994, all my colleague was the same. So I ask again if they change their policy, because there is a proof of the crisis, of the danger the women judges and the other women's rights they face. Because I'm just stand for one group, it not means I'm not supporting the women's in Afghanistan. I'm from Afghanistan. However, I am today because of Afghanistan. But we cannot do thousands of things the same time. I stand for women in Afghanistan, but my campaign to help my colleagues because they are very voiceless. They use sometimes, to be honest, and they cannot come easily to the media because they're scared because of their security, their safety, and their problems. When they share with me the story, the voicemail, that same day, and I'm trying to find a platform, a journalist, a reporter to just share the story. So the media, and I'm very grateful to media. I'm very, very grateful. They are the power of my campaign. I'm very grateful to the activists. They joined the discussion of the Pass Blue. They showed their humanity. They showed their feminism. They showed their have heart for Afghanistan and for women in the world. And I'm very grateful. We grateful. We all grateful for this. And the next step, we need action from the government, from UN Women, from United Nations, from US Department, from UK government and Home Office, German government, because a lot of women, they send their application for resettlement in Germany and Canada. And we request them to please consider the situation of the women judges and women's in Afghanistan. They want to just be alive. They cannot escape because there is a financial problem. Some of them they don't have a passport, but for the countries they are not a very difficult task.
Thank you very much for sharing. And the last question from my side for today would be, is there anything else you would like to add or any specific calls to action you would like to emphasize to our audience to support your advocacy efforts?
Mm, I had a meeting with my colleagues 2 days ago, and I mentioned about the interview things when I prepare for it. And they told because it's a winter very soon in Afghanistan. Winter, we have very heavy winter like UK we have, and they asked the United Nations to consider about them. Uh, IOM should make action um, to put their application in progress, because some judges they received call from IOM, from CARE, from different organization, but there is no place for them to reply or to call back, because this is coming from private emails or private phone numbers. And also UNHCR, uh, and I urge them, please help the women judges in Pakistan, because they facing with challenges for overstay, and financially the organization they helped and support them before. I think now that will be difficult for the organization to keep continue their support. And also, the women judges, they ask and they call to United Nations and UN Women to reconsider their application to help them. If they stay in Afghanistan, they cannot stay in the same home. They have to move around, because we our enemy. They lived with their enemies. Some of the judges. If they want to be in the one place and stay for 2 months, suddenly the neighbors, the shopkeepers, they inform and they give advice to their husband or their brother and father, please move on from here, please go, please escape, because the people know your sister is a judge. So that is really, really difficult one for the judges. But I think sometimes the media or the policymakers, I know they are very busy people. They have a lot of things to do. But also Afghanistan in the map, still we are in the map. We're not asking for extra for favor. I'm asking and we asking for the thing they promised, just to keep their promises strong. And again, my campaign and all the campaigns and other stand for social justice is not running by one person. Fighting for social justice need people. Please, people, however, you can come to me. There is my all my details, contacts, everything shared in the Blue Pass website. Uh, if individually you want to sponsor some of the judges, because some of them there are cases in process and they're facing with some of financial problem. However, you want to help the judges, I will put you direct in contact with them. And I will be very grateful if you read the article and join the discussion and support my colleague, and please DM me. I would be appreciated. We need you. We need you. We need your support. We need your love. And the government should be more practical. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this interview, and we hope that your voice would be heard by many of people who would read this article and listen to your interview.